Hello folks, in today's video we are going to create a EBS volume and we'll see how to attach it to a particular EC2 instance and how to work with that. So as I said in the previous session itself that you can create volume separately or you can also create it while launching the EC2 instance. Since we are familiar with the launching EC2 instance, so we'll first go and see when and how you create EBS volume while launching the EC2 instance. So go to EC2 dashboard and launch an EC2 instance. These are the various AMIs. As I said, select any of these AMIs. Now keep in mind that based on these AMIs that you select, the minimum requirement of your root volume varies. For example, Amazon Linux AMI needs just 8 GB of root volume. However, Windows systems take minimum 30 GB of EBS volume. So based on what AMI you are selecting, the requirement of your root volume would vary. So I'm going to select Amazon Linux, select the instance type, T2.micro or whatever your need be. Then after this basic configuration, this is where you select the storage volume. And here you are not only adding the storage, you are also creating it. So you can see volume type here is root. This will be mapped to /dev/xvda device in your Linux system. This is basically the snapshot corresponding to that particular AMI. And this is the minimum size that is required for that AMI. If you make anything less than this, it won't complain here, but later on it will fail to launch. So minimum you can keep 8 GB for Amazon Linux AMI. However, you can increase to whatever you want. So this is basically your root volume. Now there are various volume types. We'll talk about that. And based on that, what is the IOPS and what is the throughput of the system that is defined. Now as I said, root volumes cannot be encrypted. And this particular volume will delete when you terminate the EC2 instance. If you don't want it to get terminated along with the EC2 instance, then you can just uncheck this box. Now this was about your root volume. You can add a separate volume as well. So this is where you select EBS and then this is a device to which it will be attached once you create the volume, and you can define the size etc. there and the type of the volume. Now since this is a separate volume, storage volume, not a root volume, you can encrypt it using AWS KMS keys. So I'm not going ahead with this, but if you go ahead with this, you'll get a root volume as well as an extra 8 GB or whatever size you give here. So once you go ahead with this, you'll basically get an extra storage volume with the size which you enter here. So suppose 10 GB. So along with the root volume of 8 GB, it will also show you an extra volume which has 10 GB of storage. That was about while creating the EC2 instance. Now if you want to separately create a volume, go into the volume. You can click here or you can click here. These are the volumes already attached. If you have to create a new volume, you can create a volume here. You need to give the type of the volume. Again, we'll discuss about this. Size of the volume, minimum 1 GB to maximum 16 terabyte almost. And then you can see based on the type of the volume and based on the size of it, this input output per second features will vary. You also need to tell which availability zone you are going to create it. Remember, it's not region, but it's availability zone. As I said, both the EC2 instance and EBS volume has to be in the same availability zone if you want to attach a particular volume to that EC2 instance. And then there comes the concept of snapshot. So snapshots are basically files which are actually backup of the storage volumes. So when you put some data into a EBS volume and you want to keep a backup of that, you convert that volume into something called snapshot. You can store that snapshot in something like S3 bucket or on your on-premise servers and later on use it to recreate EBS volume. So these are some of the snapshots which are shared. If I use any of these snapshots, after creating the storage volume, it will also have the data which is coming from these snapshots. So again, we'll talk about how to convert volume into a snapshot and how to restore data by using snapshots. For now, I'm going to create this. So you see it has created a 2 GB of volume. By the way, you can also give a name to each of these. For example, I can give it name extra volume. Take this correct mark. You see, right now it's showing as available. Available because it has not been attached to any EC2 instance. So it is free to be attached to any other EC2 instance. The only condition is that the other EC2 instance has to be in the same availability zone. So this particular volume can be attached with this instance as well as this instance because both of them belong to availability zone 1A, but it cannot be attached to the EC2 instance which is this one because here You see, the availability zone is AP South 1B. Since volumes and EC2 instance reside in the same availability zone, so this instance also must be in AP South 1B availability zone. And if you want to attach it to some EC2 instance, they have to be in the same IP South 1A availability zone. So this was about EBS volume creation. In the next session, we are going to see how to attach a particular volume in an EC2 instance, how to detach a particular volume, how to move your data from one EC2 instance to another EC2 instance using EBS volume. So see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.